Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about the type of land that sells the fastest and slowest and medium and all other types of land where you can make hordes of money on it. It just might take a little bit longer.
Exactly.
Before we get into it, though, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Jeff asks, hi, everyone. For those of you who have a transaction coordinator, I was wondering how much you pay them, hourly, by the deal, etc. And are they in-house or virtual? Thanks.
Oh, I know. I put this in there. Put this in there here for you.
Perfect.
And I will preface this Jill's answer by saying this. If we had 10 transaction coordinators, overnight, magical dust, and they were all good ones that we could work with and work together well with, we would overnight be doing 10 times the number of deals.
Ding, ding.
If you leverage that whole mail system and sending these blind offers to owners, we could times 10 that in a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
As far as financing and funding deals on the back end, acquisitions, times 10 overnight with the people in our group and with the money, pulling money from different places.
Mm-hmm.
The whole problem, the whole bottleneck has always been for me and always will be getting good people to do these deals.
So here's the thing. I have not, and I would not do a virtual transaction coordinator. I have had the best luck having them in-house and in an office, around me too, by the way, especially while they're learning. So that's my first thing. I have tried in the past too. This is a really good question, very timely, because I'm hiring more right now. I've tested having a transaction coordinator and then boots on the ground, right, separately. Where the transaction coordinator, Jeff's in our group. I think I know this Jeff is. And then we have boots on the ground below them that are out there doing different parts of deals, like really for House Academy. But you could use a transaction coordinator for land or houses. It's great.
And should.
So anyway, I've tested, Jeff. Let's see what the boots on the ground can do on their own, being their own transaction coordinator. Because every now and then there's a little bleed over as to who does what. So until they just figure out their roles and figure out how it works. So I thought, you know what? One time I'm going to try without a transaction coordinator, give the whole thing to the boots on the ground and see if they can do both. I found that did not work. So I want to save you. So and then and you can't have a transaction coordinator in this city doing deals in 2 states over without a boots on the ground, because there are times that they do need that physical presence. Again, so it's kind of physical presence more for houses than land is really what it is. And that's really when you have a boots on the ground. That's when you need it. But so my things are, I would hire in-house. I would hire part-time if that's all you have starting, with the hopes of going full-time. And like Stephen just said, eventually you're going to have 4 transaction coordinators because it's the greatest thing on the planet. Salary-wise, I think that all varies based on the city that you're in and the knowledge that they bring to the table. I like them to have some kind of escrow, title, experience, and understanding. Yet, I don't want too much because I have to undo some of their thinking a little bit, because the way we do land deals is different than what they're used to. They're used to a stack of forms, and you go from a stack of forms like this to a stack of forms like there's 3 pieces of paper. That's kind of it. Because remember, we have no agents, we have no lenders, and if it's a piece of land, there's no inspection even. It's just getting the deal done. That's it. And managing it with an escrow agent. That's the whole thing too. I'm trying to think what else I have. I have so much to say about this because I'm in the middle of hiring right now too. I'm literally reviewing resumes today. Steven's been doing a bunch and gave me his favorites, and now I'm taking it from there to hire another person. And
here's what I look for.
I like the attitude. My last thing I was going to say, attitude. There's so much that I can teach them if they come with the right attitude, and I've found that in our staff as well. I need an underlying knowledge of some stuff, but you don't have to be a rock star. I can get you the rest of the way.
I would prefer 10 years of core escrow experience. And I don't mean escrow manager. Escrow managers walk around and look over escrow agents' shoulders. Right. They don't do any work.
Right.
Real estate agents themselves apply for positions like this in droves because they're failing as real estate agents on full commission. And the sound of making 30 to 50 to 60,000 bucks a year really sinks to them, and they suck.
Yeah.
They can't do a deal. They've never done a deal.
Good advice.
All they've done is push paper around, sign some stuff. They don't know where
them.
the county is.
They don't
read
know
any
what the
contracts.
contracts say.
They look good.
Yeah.
They dress well, but that doesn't get that doesn't line your bank account the way it should be lined. So if they don't have escrow experience, but they are a high volume broker assistant, we've had real good luck with that.
Yeah.
They're a non-licensed agent, have no interest in being that.
Right.
But they're, a designated broker's assistant that they're just tired of that person's personality. Who
Right.
isn't? Ask that guy's wife. She's tired of him too.
Yeah.
So it has to be someone who's done a lot of deals. I have also hired people in the past who say, if you ask this question, can you do a deal from start to finish? Everyone says yes. Right. Oh, I've done 15 deals. I've done 50 deals. In our case, I've done almost 16,000 deals together we have. Here's what I'm really asking. Have you sent the mailer out? Have you called and talked to the seller, negotiated the deal, processed all the paperwork, lined up a notary, or gone through title and micromanage the title agent all through its fruition? Right. Have you launched your own website? Have you done all, and now that number of everybody who says you think they do these deals, because doing deals is sexy, right? No, it's not at all. It's a tremendous amount of hard work.
That many people.
And it's tons of phone time and yelling at people. That's what doing a real estate deal is. Yeah. Very, very few people are qualified to do that. Right. There are some seasoned escrow people that are very good at it.
Right.
It's a hard position to fill.
It is. It's good.
And most of the good ones, they just want to do their own deals anyway. They just don't have the dough. So you got to fight that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be negative, but it's a tough position to fill. And once you get them, you got to keep them forever and keep them happy.
Exactly.
How much should you pay them? It really just, that all is local. Paying somebody in Los Angeles is totally different than paying somebody
in Texas.
Or Arizona, which is probably half. So I look to what the numbers are on escrow agents. So, and just pay above that, and you'll get somebody good.
Thank you.
Today's topic, land that sells the fastest. This is the meat of the show.
Well, I think I answered it yesterday. Just kidding. So we're done, right?
Land that sells the fastest is incredibly inexpensive property that has fantastic access, beautiful views.
Like some attribute.
It's ridiculously cheap, but at the same time, more than you paid for it.
Right.
And it's large.
Right.
It's 100 acres or so.
Right. You know what this is?
The 4 A's.
Exactly. We haven't talked about that in a long time. It's good to go back. Let's recap the 4 A's, shall we? This is something that Stephen came up with a long time ago, and it was way before Land Academy. This was just what we should be looking for when we're buying property. It has to have, the 4 A's. Hopefully all of them. If not, 3 good ones that make up for the one it doesn't have.
Acreage, more is better.
Mm-hmm.
Access, county road's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Affordability, the cheapest is the best. And an attribute, like close to the Grand Canyon.
Lake.
Unbelievable. Yeah, close to a lake. Beautiful views.
Heavily treed. Something awesome about it. Maybe a flat so you can really use it. That could be an attribute too, by the way.
But what really works at the end is if you buy property for less than half of its worth, wholesale, and you go to sell it, what I'm finding with our group, the further we get into Land Academy, is that they're innately becoming problem solvers about access and any kind of title issues. They're doing adverse possession foreclosure actions on their own from their kitchen table. So talk about a group of entrepreneurs.
I tell ya.
So that's the way you get some just stupid cheap property. We're doing an adverse possession deal in Arizona right now for 38 acres with a house on it. And the whole thing at the end is going to cost less than $2,000. That's and most of it's fees.
Right.
So those types of deals are out there, and you can solve problems. You're going to buy some unbelievable property.
Exactly.
But cheaper's better. Things
that don't sell the fast are if it doesn't have any access, and maybe there's deeded access, but not physical access. That counts. They need to be able to get out there and see it. So you want both. Really unique properties that it's very specific use and not a lot of buyers for it. Those are harder to move, too. That's going to take a little time. So like you have the perfect infill lot and you bought it right and it's great, but there's a certain person that's going to put that kind of a house on that kind of a lot. That is going to take a little bit of time. Some of these movie star ranches, those when you get to big acreage or big volume, the beauty is you do fewer deals a year and they yield much more money, however, they take a little bit longer. So one of the things I just love to do is I love having a variety of things going on at the same time.
Yeah, me too.
So I never think about that one like, oh, great, that one's sold. I kind of forgot we had that. I'm watching these, so I love it. That's great.
I mean, if you it's all about price. If you have the cheapest property, somebody's looking for property in Mojave County, Arizona, and they go to the MLS and they look up land on Realtor.com or Redfin, and you have the first property because it's the cheapest, or the same is true with LandWatch or Land and Farm or any place else, you're going to sell that property fast. But it needs to be real. There needs to be no trickery about it, access or any of that stuff, or silly little fake listings that some people do. You just have to be real about it.
I was just going to say kind of a version of that. Land that also sells the fastest has good pictures, maybe a video, maybe a drone. It's all spelled out in there, and you're marketing it to the right people. You have it on Facebook, you have it on Instagram, you have it on Craigslist, you have it on maybe the MLS because maybe it qualifies for that amount. That makes a difference.
Selling property quickly has never, ever been a challenge for us. And I'm trying to think if there's anybody in our advanced group, land group, who has complained about that. But we all have like one or two properties. It's like, wow, I wonder why that took
we all know
3 weeks to sell instead of 3 minutes.
Well, we all know why. We talk about this on our member calls. Everybody says that. I knew it when I bought it. I knew that access was going to be an issue, and that one took me 90 days. I was ready for it.
Yeah.
Every single one of us has gone, yeah, I knew why. And usually it's that, or they said, yeah, I know I overspent for that one. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what's taken so long. Okay, I'm going to hang out with it. Stuff like that.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we know your time's valuable. Thanks for spending some of it with us today.
Join us next week for another interesting episode. And we promise we will answer some of your questions posted on our online community at landinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
It's Friday. By the way, I have to tell you, we are 2 shows away from show 1000. And I just want to say,
that's amazing.
I know. Please listen next week. It's going to be amazing. I know we're doing some stuff. And by the way, too, there is a offers to owners deal coming soon. So if you're listening, you're sending out mail, we can help you with that. Check out offerstowners.com and get our free ebook over at Land Academy, and you'll be in the loop for the email that is coming out very soon with their special. Wherever you're watching, wherever you are listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.